What's up, friends and family? My name is Will, and welcome to week number 16. Today, I am going to one of my favorite stores in Japan, which is called Don Quijote. It's kind of like a Walmart in Japan with a lot of sensory overload. It is basically pure definition of Japan for some people, mostly because it is just so much to see and do. But of course, that does depend a lot on the Don Quijote. I've been in some that are in smaller spaces, and thus the shelves and the aisles are all crammed together. But the one I'm going to today is actually called a Mega Don Quijote, which I believe is basically just a bigger Don Quijote with a much larger grocery section. I'm not sure if I've actually been in one of these before. I'll hopefully know whether or not when I visit this one today. I've been to a bunch of these before, mostly down in and around Tokyo, but I have been into one in Sendai City itself, which all of them are very, very similar. I'm not going today for any specific items or purchases. I just kind of want to check it out, see how it is, kind of have an excuse for driving once again. It's been almost a month since I drove last, though I think the video I released about driving may have been sooner than that. So I think maybe my time scale's even a little off. I'm not entirely certain, but I'm going to kind of leave all those rabbit trails off today because it's time to go. I'm not going to film any of the drive because I'm still too uncomfortable with driving to really kind of confidently do that. So I'll see y'all in a couple seconds for you. Welcome back. It was a long time for y'all. Big wait. Nope. So I am here now. Don't necessarily have a whole ton of takeaways from the drive I just went on. Definitely was a bit awkward right at first, but I got the hang of it, specifically with things like staying not on the left side of the road, but making sure I'm staying on the middle of the road. My mind really likes to revert to trying to get me on the left side of the road, like back home in the States. But after a little while, probably 5-10 minutes of driving kind of very consciously about that, I'm able to focus a little less on it. But I'll leave those kind of topics for another day because this video is not about the drive here or driving in general. It is instead about Don Quijote. So let's see if I can get some very base footage in here, see what I can kind of see and if I want to buy anything. So I'll see y'all soon. This is the clothing section. Here is a view of some of their tight aisles. You can really see that there is so much packed onto each aisle. And another look at those tight aisles. Here is a look at some of their grocery section. They even have a small section for import goods. Okay, so I'm out. Hopefully I got some decent footage there. I'm sure some of the shots were pretty short, so I may have to do some extra talking back home about some of the specific things that I took videos of. I tried to take some videos of different sections of the store. It definitely is a lot to look at, and when you go in without anything specific that you're looking for, you kind of end up walking out with a bunch of things that you're like, man, why did I buy that? But today I went and ended up finding some of the things that I didn't expect to find, but were like, yeah, I've kind of been wanting that. Not sure exactly the total I spent. I didn't actually look at that. I'll have to check my receipts, but it ended up being a lot more affordable than if I had bought all of this stuff on Amazon. Plus, if I bought it on Amazon, I probably would have seen all these options and potentially would have spent a lot more than I needed to. But the basic stuff that I got should be good enough to kind of serve me in my time here. So hey, if I really want something much better, I can get something much better further down the line. But for now, so that I don't make excuses of, oh, I can't make this food because I don't have this, I now have some things to cover those bases. So I'm going to go home now. I'll probably talk some more back at the apartment about some of the sections I visited, because it's hot in this car and I'd rather not take care of that right now, but rather back at my apartment. Okay, so I'll see y'all soon then. Okay, so I'm obviously back at my apartment. If you can't tell, my clothes are changed. It's actually been a couple days. Might make sense seeing as I've released some shorts over the last couple days, and like 3 days ago Short talked about making this video that day, and then now this video is coming out today. So obviously some time has passed. That's okay, working out the kinks there. A bigger video like this I didn't want to necessarily rush. These weekly videos I do often make some content for earlier on and then finish making the video later on in the week. As for the kind of products that I purchased that day at Don Quijote, I plan on potentially discussing them in a future video. Kind of have plans on talking about some of my favorite products I've purchased in Japan. So maybe one of those things will be on that list. Hard to say yet. We'll see in a couple days' time. But as for the shots that you saw there, obviously you had my expert narration there for every single scene. But basically I showed you 3 main sections, and that was the clothing section, some just kind of random aisles. It was a lot of electronics and appliances, and then the grocery section. Since this was a Mega Don Quijote, I believe that is what they are very well known for. Upon kind of entering this Don Quijote, I definitely can tell that there was a lot more stuff in it than I'm used to seeing, but that doesn't mean I haven't been in a Mega Don Quijote before. Probably I was in more Mega Don Quijotes than not. Actually, if I think back on it, more specifically one Don Quijote that I often visited when I was back here in 2019, I think looking back now, that was a Mega Don Quijote, and potentially some of the ones that I visited in downtown areas are as well, but they're on multiple different floors, so it's hard to tell if they're exactly the same or different because the stuff is so far laid out. Potentially they're even bigger. It's really hard to tell. But basically, of those 3 main sections, you kind of got a good look at some of the product offerings, that they're just so wide and diverse at times, and potentially those shots don't really show that or do that justice. But really, the aisles are so close together, and there's so many aisles. They're just really cramming everything in there that it's really hard to know what you're looking for. And there's no necessarily rhyme or reason to anything. The aisles don't have a lot of signage on what is on them. So you really kind of aimlessly walk and eventually find the electronics section and know, oh, this is where I can find these things. Or potentially you've been to the Mega Don Quijote before, so you have a general idea where things are at. And now if I do revisit that Mega Don Quijote, which I do currently have plans to, then I will have a general idea going in, what to expect, where to go for certain things, and if I'm looking to buy something again, or maybe just look in a general area for something, I know where to go in the store for that. Should help streamline the process and hopefully help me buy a lot less, which obviously is great overall. But as I've said before, it's a lot better to go into a place like that with kind of a plan of what to buy. I really bought a lot of miscellaneous things. I'm definitely happy with some of those purchases that I made, but I definitely look back and I wonder, if those were necessarily the best prices. When you only see a select number of options in front of you, you really kind of limit your viewpoint on it and think, wow, this is a fantastic price for this. I better buy it now. But of course, with Black Friday just around the corner, maybe that's not the kind of thinking that I should be having. But I guess we'll see in, I don't know, a week's time, almost 2 weeks now, whether those prices really kind of hold up or not, and whether these products that I have are really meeting my needs or not. So I'm going to kind of end the video there. Hopefully this was an insightful look into one of my favorite stores in Japan. Obviously it wasn't like a full tour, and being there in the moment, like experiencing it yourself, is really the best way to do a lot of things, especially here in Japan. Seeing it on video just never does it justice. Sure, it may be cool, it may be interesting to see, but really being here and seeing those things in person is the way to do it. But I'm hoping that these videos kind of give an insight for people that are looking to come here, or maybe hoping to come here one day. And I do understand that not everybody can afford moving or even just coming to Japan, and I'm completely understanding and respectful of that. And I'm hoping that these videos can kind of give a look into life here, so that you can kind of get a snapshot of it without trying to do it yourself for finance's sake. But yes, I'll end it there. I want to give out a wholehearted thanks for anyone watching this, whether you are friends and family, which is what my subscribers are called, which of course at this point in time, most of my subscribers are actual like real life friends or family. But if you want to subscribe, you do get to join that group of friends and family and see my videos from week to week. I believe that I have definitely improved my content since day one. Now, as I mentioned in a short yesterday, I'm really starting to pour some time into energy into getting some slightly better equipment. So hopefully things are going to be even more improving over the next couple days and weeks, and longest term, maybe even months. This is always a growing process, and this has really become a huge part of my Japan experience this time around. So I want to give a wholehearted thanks to anyone watching this, whether you are subscribed and are friends and family, or if this is your first video. Potentially you are coming here from a short, and that's great. That's fantastic. I want to welcome you one way or another. Those shorts are a way to kind of reach out, get more content out there, and potentially reach a larger audience. So I'm going to end it there. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all have a great week.